The recent Minecraft small updates like new animal variations have flooded the internet with tons of negotiations between players on whether those updates are truly useful or not. And to be clear, I stand by neither of these sides, and I'm not here to tell you how bad or how amazing these small updates are. I'm here for you to change the way you look at them and the way you shape your opinion around it. So think about your impression of the small or useless update, and if by the end of the video I will change it, you promise to subscribe to this channel. So let's get straight into it. The problem with small filler updates arises from their first appearance on the internet, and there are always the survivors who tell how useless the copper blocks are and why wasn't a completely new system of mechanisms added along with them, and there are the builders who glaze them, telling how its color would revolutionize the building in Minecraft, and I completely understand both sides. However, what I often find is that players miss a key perspective in deciding whether the update is trash or not. The business side. Whether you're a fan or a hater of copper, you need to remember that Mojang is just a business, and just like any other business, they try to find ways to satisfy as many players with the least cost possible. And whenever Mojang adds a new update, there is an ongoing cycle. First is that players demand for something new. Second, Mojang invests and releases that something new. Third, players start to complain, and finally, Mojang considers to take it easy the next time and just cuts the costs. And there are always two major problems with this. First is a constant stream of players' infinite demands. Second is Mojang's attempts of cutting the cost and efforts down. If we think about it in this way, both of these problems are connected and directly fuel each other. So to fully change your perspective, I will cover both of them. Now I want you to think of the most useless update in the past 6 years. Did you think of 1.15 or 1.18? Probably yes, and that is for a reason. 1.15 update added a little amount of new things that are actually useful, like bees and honey blocks. Yeah, they serve a purpose, but a really dumb one and for really small amounts of players. And 1.18 update, yeah, it made the caves beautiful, but now they became much harder to explore and find diamonds, for example. That was the most common assumption I could give about those two updates, and you might ask me, what's wrong with this? The perspective. We have come to the solution of considering these updates useless simply by looking at the things they've added to the actual gameplay. We usually don't pay that much attention to the things in the backend, and let me tell you this. The 1.18 update, despite its hated change of caves, might have actually saved all of your data, including passwords, bank accounts, and even chats from being hacked. Yeah, and I'm serious. Before that update, Java had a vulnerability in one of its libraries that literally allowed any hacker to get into your computer by simply typing one message. You can check that out after watching this video. Anyways, the hated 1.15 update, for example, massively improved the chunk loading system, which resulted in a noticeable increase in FPS, and I bet most of you and most of the greatest haters of Honey didn't even hear about it. The updates that are considered useless by most of the community lay a crucial foundation for future game changers. Think of it in this way. When you live in a house, you probably don't think of huge metal bars and tubes system underground that supply water, electricity, and sewage system and simply hold your house in a place. If Mojang didn't optimize the game this way, how are they supposed to add a ton of new dimensions then? Okay, but now you might be wondering, how the hell an exploit fix or a chunk optimization could take more than a year? But let me clarify this. Java Minecraft is not the biggest pain. Think of another version of Minecraft except Java. Bedrock. It is the version that accounts for more than 50% of the company's shares, and that's more than Java and all of the merchandise combined. Yeah, Bedrock requires more time, more effort, and simply more thinking of the way how to optimize it, since the game is run on mobile in most of the ways. But they can't just leave Bedrock, they have to do that. If Mojang were to focus only on Java, the process of adding new game-changing updates would be much faster, it would be much more fun. However, Mojang as a business does not want to lose 50% of its shares like what other business would. And in this dilemma, these small, useless and complaint updates serve a huge purpose. They give time for Mojang to work on quality optimization while continuing to add new things to the game. And just believe me, If you look at each one of such updates, it would either carry an enormous backend changes behind, or would be a light update before releasing a game-changing one. Okay, but why don't they fill the game with something actually useful while optimizing it? Why don't they add a new weapon, for example? Why do they add a stupid copper? Well, that would be a great idea only if we were playing by keyboard and mouse on our phones. When adding a new game mechanic, Mojang needs to think about how to execute it on keyboard, which is easy, and how to execute it on a touch screen, which is much harder. Adding new things like weapons would not be possible, given that these small updates should come up often. And just think about the fact that Mace was added 6 years after Trident, and this should probably tell something. So now that I've probably eliminated the strong hate towards these filler updates, let's take a look at how they're beneficial to Mojang and how they help them to save millions of dollars. Whether you'll hate Mojang for this or not would only be based on your opinion. Okay, but first we need to put Minecraft aside and look at Mojang as a company. It is not hugely different from Epic Games or Samsung, since it is just a business created for just to bring money to someone. And as any other company would, Mojang looks at you as a direct consumer that will recommend the game and will create an influence that would force people to make a purchase. But what will exactly create this influence? The addiction to playing. Just like any other addiction, the habit of playing consists of 4 key steps. There is a cue, action, reward, and repetition. And Mojang satisfies all of them. And to make it clear, I bet everyone started playing Minecraft when they saw friends or a group of YouTubers playing it. In this case, YouTubers and friends became the cue. You rushed to your mom asking for money to buy Minecraft and made the purchase. That's the action. 8 years later, you watch a nostalgic Minecraft video remembering the OG times, and that's the reward. But what exactly fills the final step, the repetition? You know the answer. These small useless updates remind you that, hey, Minecraft still exists and it's not dead. You rejoin again, and whether you like the update or not, Minecraft remains in your mind, potentially pushing you towards that new 2-week phase. These updates make tons of YouTubers film the same kind of overview videos which just get millions of views. And this is another major point. Being relatively cheap and quick to develop, these updates, though at low cost, create the same or even better marketing than huge ones. Even negotiations about the new game blogs generate tons of comments and even videos. They run lasting quality advertisement at just a miserable cost, affecting millions. They create a loop where a small update incentivizes players to rejoin the game, which then forms a habit of playing and eventually drives sales. This is all just a business. Oh, I think this was a little too much info in one video, but anyways. Think about your perception of these useless additions. Did it change? If yes, you promised to subscribe, and if no, please leave a comment down below explaining your point and I'll read all of them. Like this video, subscribe for more deep dives into Minecraft's weirdest secrets.